Welcome to Business Legal Lifecycle TV, the live TV show all about the legal aspects of your business. We've designed this TV show to educate you in simple to understand plain English ways for complex legal terms, to help you understand why you undertake certain legal aspects of your business, and to help you develop a plan for the future success of your business. Did you know that any business owner is on average 7 months away from losing everything? And that is the average time that it takes for a successful business to fold when an aspect of their business is not set up correctly. Have you ever wanted to get legal advice but didn't understand what was going on? And do you feel like there's a divide between lawyers and their clients? If that's so, then this TV show is for you. We've designed the show to empower you and your business with the knowledge and tools to help ensure that those problems that so many businesses encounter don't happen to you. Business Legal Lifecycle TV delivers a twice-weekly show focusing on the legal aspects of your business. At lunchtime on Mondays, we present Fast Fix Monday, a quick 5 to 10 minute show to give you some actionable steps to consider for this week in your business. And at lunchtime on Wednesdays, we present our in-depth show. It's generally between 30 minutes to an hour to go through the complicated legal aspects of your business in a simple to understand and plain English way. That can be through educational pieces or interviews with experts in the fields. We welcome you to Business Legal Lifecycle TV, and here's our show.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Business Legal Lifecycle Fast Fix Monday. The month of October, if you've joined us so far, we've been talking about phase 1 of the Business Legal Lifecycle, which is conception. And today we're talking about one of the exciting things about starting a new business, which is choosing the right name. So obviously the name is an important part of the business. You want something that's going to stand out. You want something that is easily able to be marketed, or there's a story behind it that it makes it passionate for you as to why you've chosen that particular name. So it's a pretty important step in this phase. And today we're going to quickly go through sort of 4 places where we see where you can do some research and search as to what your name might be. The important thing is that you want to stand out from the crowd. Obviously, from a marketing point of view, if you've got something that is relevant to your business, then it might be easier from a search engine optimization, those sorts of things. So there's plenty of things to consider, but we say that one of the most important things is something that is passionate for you and something that will stand out from the crowd. Jeremy, have you got anything else to say about choosing the right name?
No, other than it is important, and there's many ways to be right with this. You've got to pick the name that's right for you. But let's kick off into the 4 different ways that people can search for names. So I'll start off. The first one is search engines. So it might seem obvious, but just do a Google search or a Bing search if you're not Google inclined. Do a search and see what other names are out there in business. Google's a great tool. It has so many websites and everything in it that you're going to find out pretty quickly if someone's got a name that's very close to what you want for your business. So the first one is search engines. So check out your business name on those. Craig.
Yeah. The second one is obviously with most businesses having an online presence, you want to check the domain searches. So GoDaddy or Crazy Domains, something like that, to see that if you had a business called Bob's Builders, whether or not bobsbuilders.com or .whatever is actually an available domain name, because there's nothing worse than picking a name that you're really happy with, and then you go to register the domain name and Bob's the Builder has already got that name. So check those sorts of domain name searches when you're doing the research about your name. So that's number 2. Number 3, Jeremy?
Number 3 is ASIC. So ASIC is the Australian Securities and Investments Commission. It now maintains a national register of all names of all businesses and companies. So it used to be up until a few years ago that the states in Australia each had their own register of business names. So ASIC, you can do a search of the names that are registered. Now, the advantage of this is that under Australian law, if you're trading a business that doesn't use your name, then you need to have it registered as a business name, and if you don't, then you're not properly registered. So, if you wanted to run Bob's Builders, and your name was Bob, then you don't necessarily have to have the name registered. But if you do it through, if you want to call it, another business name that's unique, and the creativity on a business name is escaping me right now. But if you want to choose a quick name that is unique and isn't on a business, then you can do an ASIC search and see what other businesses are registered. That also does the companies. So, in phase 2, a couple of months ago, and even in our last discussion on phase 1, we talked about proprietary limited companies. Each company in Australia has to have a unique name. So the ASIC search will tell you what those names are and make sure that you've picked a unique name for your business. So that's ASIC. Craig, number 4.
Yeah, number 4, last one, trademark searches. So you want to search through whatever the search is in your particular jurisdiction. So it could be IP Australia or somewhere else, but you want to search for trademarks and make sure there isn't one that's similar to what you're thinking of, and further to that in the same sort of class of trademarks. So go through the searches, have a look at all those things, make sure you consider that, and if there is one that pops up, and it may not be the end of the world, you just need to consider a few things, but do those searches to make sure there's not something that's exactly the same, because again, if you don't, and then you go about using that as a business, and then a couple of years down the track, there might be some issues, which, Jeremy, you have an example about that one you wanted to share?
Yeah, I think this is good. We've got a few more minutes, so I'll just share this briefly. So the examples of a baker. Now, I'm not going to say any names because I don't want to out anyone, but it was a bakery business in southeast Queensland that had built their business from a one-man shop, basically, to having about 15 to 20 shops. He came to us because he had changed his mind. Originally, he wanted to just build the business, and his goal was just to run a nice business with 20 or 30 stores. He got the idea that he wanted to trademark that business. So he came to us to say, well, let's put the trademark together. Now, we're going to go through trademarks and franchising, in more detail next month, which is phase 7 expansion, and includes franchising. But one of the key parts of a franchise is selling the brand of the franchise, and the brand is the trademark. So this gentleman had a business, as I say, successful, and so we said, well, let's trademark the business. He'd spent 20 years building this thing. Let's trademark the name and the logo. Lo and behold, when we went to register it, we found that there were something like 20 other businesses in Australia that had a similar name. A simple Google search showed that. So what happened was he had to go through a lot of a painstaking process to rebrand his business to be able to trademark it, and lost a lot of the value in his business. So you may not think, especially when you start out, and phase 1 is all about goals, you may think that you don't need to worry about protecting your intellectual property, but you never know how your goals might change in the future, and you want to make sure that you get it right, because this error cost this business owner tens of thousands of dollars to rectify and rebrand, and then had to rebrand what he wanted for his business into the future. So make sure that you're thinking about everything and all the different goals in your business, and making sure that what you're doing and what you're setting up is actually unique, and depending on where you might change your business in the future, then you can change where you want to go. So that's it from me for today, Fast Fix Monday. Join us on Wednesday for another installment on phase 1 conception. Craig, did you want to add anything before we go?
No, I don't think so. Thanks for joining us. See you on Wednesday. Obviously, choosing the right name, pretty important thing. Use these 4 tips that we've shared with you today. Do your searches, check your domain, check ASIC, check your trademarks, and then hopefully you'll be able to go forth with your business and it'll be a successful one. So join us on Wednesday.
Thanks very much.
Bye.